Vice President Sara Duterte will not attend President Bongbong Marcos's fourth State of the Nation address on July 28. During a briefing on Thursday, June 19, House Secretary General Reginald Velasco says that after they sent out invitations for the Sona, they received a letter from Duterte's office indicating her absence. Despite this feedback, Velasco says they are still preparing for any eventuality that the Vice President might appear. He notes that they are still setting aside a holding room for the Vice President.
We have received a letter from the office that she is not attending. But we are not excluding the possibility that she will attend, no? So there'll be a seat for her reserved at the center of the gallery, no, the VIP gallery. So if she decides to come, there will be a seat for her and her immediate staff. There will be, in fact, we will designate a holding room, no, for our Vice President and her staff, as we have done in the past.
According to Velasco, Duterte's office did not provide any reason why she is skipping the Sona.
Walang reason eh. And in fact, we don't really ask for any reason. No? But be that as it may, we are prepared for her attendance. No? So we will reserve a seat for her at the VIP gallery and a holding room for her and her immediate staff. So far, siya lang ang nag-decline, no? All the rest, we have received positive indications that they are all coming.
In 2024, the Vice President stirred controversy by saying that she would not attend Marcos's third Sona. Instead, she said she was appointing herself as a designated survivor. Several lawmakers called out Duterte over this remark, saying that it was done in poor taste as there is no such thing as a designated survivor under the 1987 Constitution. President Bongbong Marcos left for Osaka, Japan on Thursday, June 19, to attend the World Expo 2025. Palace Press Officer Claire Castro says Marcos left the Philippines around 1 p.m. on Thursday. She says Executive Secretary Lucas Bersamin, Agrarian Reform Secretary Conrado Estrella III, and Education Secretary Sonny Angara will serve as the country's caretakers in his absence. Aside from attending the expo, Castro says Marcos will also hold business meetings and meet with the Filipino community in Japan. She adds Marcos will likely be back in the country over the weekend. In April, Japanese Prime Minister Shigeru Ishiba invited Marcos to attend the World Expo, which will run until October. President Bongbong Marcos is open to discussions on the Philippines rejoining the International Criminal Court, according to a palace official. At a press briefing on Thursday, June 19, Palace Press Officer Claire Castro was asked to comment on the call of Irene Can, the United Nations Special Rapporteur on the promotion and protection of the right to freedom of opinion and expression. The UN official urged the Philippine government to ratify international human rights treaties and reinstate its previous commitment to the Rome Statute of the ICC. Castro describes the recommendations as good, adding that Marcos is open to talks about the possibility of the Philippines rejoining the ICC.
Open po siya. Nung huli po kami nag-usap, dahil doon pa po natin ito napag-usapan, sinabi po niya na open naman po siya. Kaya lang hindi po ngayon na pag-uusapan ang bagay na yan. Pero sa mga ganitong suggestion, open naman po ang Pangulo para po ito ay mapag-usapan.
On March 17, 2018, former President Rodrigo Duterte withdrew the Philippines from the Rome Statute, the treaty that established the ICC. The withdrawal took effect after a year. Despite Duterte's withdrawal, the ICC retained jurisdiction over alleged crimes in the country from November 1, 2011 to March 16, 2019, or based on the period when the country was still a member. This was the basis of the ICC's arrest warrant against Duterte, who has been detained in The Hague, Netherlands since his arrest on March 11. Marcos previously said the government did not cooperate with the ICC regarding Duterte's case. But Marcos said the country had to comply with its commitments to the International Criminal Police Organization, or Interpol, which enforced Duterte's arrest. Incoming Senator Erwin Tulfo says the return of the articles of impeachment against Vice President Sara Duterte to the House of Representatives may prompt their refiling in the 20th Congress. In an interview at the Senate on Thursday, June 19, Tulfo says he heard a plan to refile the impeachment against Duterte from his colleagues at the House. But Tulfo wonders about the mechanics of it. He cites the provision on filing only one impeachment case against the same official per year. On whether or not the 20th Congress can pursue the impeachment trial of Duterte, Tulfo thinks it can proceed. He recalls that even the Vice President expressed her readiness to face the trial and answer the allegations hurled at her. In returning the articles of impeachment to the House on June 10, the Senate Impeachment Court directed the lower chamber to certify that it did not violate the one-year ban on filing impeachment cases. It also asked the lower chamber to ensure the incoming House of the 20th Congress will pursue the case against Duterte. In response, the House adopted a resolution certifying that their impeachment proceedings against Duterte fully complied with the 1987 Constitution. However, formal communication has yet to be filed at the impeachment court. The impeachment complaint against Duterte stemmed from her alleged misuse of the confidential funds of her office and the Department of Education, among other allegations. In February, Tulfo did not join the 215 House lawmakers who impeached the Vice President, as he might sit as a senator judge in the 20th Congress. Immediately after impeaching Duterte, the House sent the articles of impeachment to the Senate, but the upper chamber was not able to act on it for lack of time. It was only on June 10 that the Senate convened as an impeachment court. Senator-elect Tito Sotto says talks of a possible Senate leadership change are still ongoing. In an interview at the Senate, Sotto initially parried questions about a possible Senate leadership contest when the 20th Congress opens on July 28. He believes those questions are better addressed to other senators since some have approached him to ask if he's ready to lead. When asked if there are still ongoing talks on that, Sotto answers in the affirmative. Describing himself as old school, Sotto says he's not going around to seek the support of his colleagues. However, he could not say for sure if other senators are doing it for him. Sotto also says his next move would depend on what the Senate leadership will look like in the 20th Congress. For incoming Senator Erwin Tulfo, discussions on a possible leadership change have already died down. Tulfo confirms he was approached by the camps of Sotto and incumbent Senate President Chis Escudero, who are both seeking his support. Tulfo says he would like to be part of the new majority bloc in the Senate, but that does not mean he would always agree with them.